Next on Worcester News tonight, is the commuter rail ready for winter? The company who operates the train say they are prepared. Plus, the Worcester Railers host a unique party. See how the new hockey team is getting in the holiday spirit. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. The region is still in the midst of a severe drought, and this week, Worcester City Council could vote on protecting the city's reservoirs. City leaders are focusing on the quality of the water. Our Catherine Andrioli spoke with the Department of Public Works about efforts to prevent water contamination for residents in Worcester.
City officials are focusing on the quality of Worcester's drinking water and now want to buy 100 acres of land in Holden and Princeton to prevent water contamination.
And the idea is to protect those lands from development and potentially contaminating the reservoirs.
The land is what DPW Commissioner Paul Musi refers to as watershed areas, which surround the Holden and Quinnipoxet reservoirs. This is where Worcester gets its water supply from. He says if the land is sold to developers, there is potential for water contamination.
Just the normal contamination that comes from developed land, runoff, road salts, drippings from automobiles, that kind of contamination. Development itself creates the potential for less than ideal runoff for drinking water supply.
The properties currently owned by 3 different owners would cost the city nearly $300,000. But Musi says this purchase will not affect taxpayers and is already budgeted into the city's water costs.
The city puts aside, part of the water division budget, puts aside money every year for land acquisition.
Musi says the city bought 1,000 acres of land in 2005 to protect the land around the reservoirs. He says this is the first step in protecting the drinking water for residents in Worcester.
That's really the first line of defense to protect your water supply, is to protect the watershed.
City Council will vote tomorrow on the land acquisitions, and if they are approved, the city has 60 days to close on the land in Holden and in Princeton. Olivia?
All right, Catherine, thank you for following that. Worcester Fire Chief Jeffrey Gardell announces his retirement Monday. Gardell will retire at the end of January. He became chief in the summer of 2015. At the time, he informed City Manager Ed Augustus he planned to stay for only 12 to 18 months. Gardell has served on the Worcester Fire Department for more than 30 years. Before becoming chief, he served as deputy chief and the public information officer. The city says Gardell's time as chief was marked by significant improvements to the equipment and infrastructure. The operator of Worcester's commuter rail releases a video today saying they are ready for winter. In the video, Keolis General Manager David Scory says planning for this winter actually began last spring. He says the team at Keolis ran exercises throughout the summer to prepare for winter weather. Scory says they know commuting in the winter months can be difficult, but their new upgrades make them more prepared than ever.
Some of the things that have been happening is introducing lots of new specialist snow clearance equipment, upgrading the locomotive fleet, preparing our plans, including the communication plans for passengers, so that people will know in advance what service we're planning to run if we get heavy snowfall.
Commuters we spoke to tonight in Worcester say their ride home was easy and this morning's snow did not affect
Everything
their
really
commute.
melted more towards the end of the day, so there's no issues. The best thing that we can hope for this year is that we can actually have the trains running smoothly. So.
Keolis says whatever happens with the weather, their goal is to provide the best service to commuters. Grant money given to the city of Worcester will be used for the playground renovation program. The Baker-Polito administration announced Monday more than $7 million will be distributed to help communities develop and renovate land for park and outdoor recreation purposes. $400,000 of the money will be used here in Worcester to renovate parks across the city, including Burncoat Playground, Green Hill Park, Vernon Hill Park, Crompton Park, and Bennett Field. A special night in the city for hockey fans. The Worcester Railers hosted a members-only ugly sweater party at Mezcal Cantina. Dozens gathered at the restaurant to socialize with members of the Railers organization. Vice President of Marketing and Communications Eric Lindquist says events like these are a good way to get the city excited for hockey again.
Fans have been waiting for hockey for almost 2 years now, and a lot of them have become really tight group, either with the Ice Cats or the Sharks. So it's important to get them all together on a monthly just to kind of get them feeling good about hockey again in Worcester.
Tonight's national anthem was sung by Boston Garden legend Renee Rancourt. The Best Ugly Sweater winner also got a chance to win 2 tickets to the Bruins game on February 12th. Snow hit central Massachusetts Sunday night into early Monday morning. Worcester Public Schools had a 2-hour delay, allowing crews plenty of time to clear the roads. City Manager Ed Augustus says this winter the pressure is on to perform. Our Brittany Schaefer spoke with the city manager today and has the story.
Snow, ice, and rain made for heavy snow to shovel in Worcester Monday morning. On Mount Ave, neighbors were helping each other clean up.
Later on after the rain, it got a little heavier, but I just take my time and, stay out here for a half hour, 45 minutes, go back in, rest, and then come back out.
We were doing our driveway, and Mary was out here doing her driveway by herself, and Kate says, hey, she's over there doing it by herself. Let's go save her.
Worcester City Manager Ed Augustus says there were more than 300 pieces of snow equipment on the roads Monday, and so far, Worcester residents seem impressed with the response.
Yeah, they do a great job here.
The plow came down a few times already this morning. I was very happy about that. Sometimes they don't get here till later.
Ann Schaller says last year the city's snow cleanup could have been better. This season, Augustus says they bought more equipment with surplus money from last year's snow budget and are ready for the winter.
Last year there was I know there's a bit of a debate. By the time you get to the main road, usually the main road's good, but when you get down to the side roads, the residential roads, like ours is a dead end, sometimes they get as far as the corner, but they don't make the last half of the block here.
We promised people we were going to do a top-to-bottom review, and we were going to make changes, and we were going to try to hold ourselves to a higher standard this year. And so there is a pressure to make sure that we deliver.
The snow budget this year is $4.2 million. Augustus says unlike before, crews will now begin treating the roads once 1 inch of snow has accumulated.
Crews will be going out the rest of today and into the evening, salting and sanding to make sure that as the temperatures drop, maybe later tonight, that we don't have any refreezing of the streets.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
A water main break on Park Avenue causes some flooding Monday afternoon. Crews were on scene at the intersection of 501 Park Avenue and Mainwood Street. Worcester's DPW says residents and businesses in the area may experience no water, rusty water, or low water pressure. Flooding occurred in a local business nearby. Employees could be seen clearing water out of their garage. No word at this time on what caused the break. The Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce says spending dollars at local businesses benefits the area's economy, and they are releasing data to show just how much buying local helps. Our Roz and Flaherty talked to businesses who say making relationships with their customers is the key to their success.
They are the businesses that, populate the storefronts throughout the city.
In a busy holiday shopping season, the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce says spending dollars locally benefits local businesses and the regional economy.
Whether it goes out in terms of wages, whether it goes out to purchases of goods and supplies supporting other businesses, going to the taxes to the city, to the state to help pay for police, fire, and the school.
Tim Murray is the CEO and president of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce. He says for every $100 someone spends at a local business, $68 stays in the community. But if you take the same $100 and spend it at a national chain, only $43 stays local.
Whenever we can encourage people, when they have choices in how they buy, they consume, especially this time of year, the holiday season, if they go that extra step and support local businesses, they are also supporting the local economy.
Zach Votakis is the third-generation owner of Owl Shop. They've been selling tobacco products on Main Street for 70 years. He says the internet is making it harder for mom-and-pop businesses to succeed.
It takes a lot to keep going, and at that point, it's much more difficult to do with the competition that has an elevated situation.
He says they don't do any business online, source a lot of their products from other small businesses, and try to get to know their customers on a personal level.
In here, we learn to, develop our relationships with people. We know what you enjoy, what you like. We can make recommendations.
Scharfman Jewelers has been in operation for more than 75 years. They say by buying locally, the customer service is better.
Generally, the owners do live in the area. We hire people that really have the expertise in all the products or services that we offer.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester.